Shujaat Saudagar, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you so much, Vishal. Thank you so much for having me.
Shujaat, first a belated happy birthday to you. And how are
Ah,
you?
Thank you very much. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Very good, sir. Shujaat, correct to say the year 2023 will be marked in your calendar or in your life as one of the most creatively satisfying year. Your Amazon series Bombay Meri Jaan got a thumbs up by the audience. Your feature film The Underbug had a successful festival journey, and the Disney Plus Hotstar film that you produced garnered a lot of praise. Would you agree that was the most creatively satisfying year for you, the last year?
Yes, it has been. It's not only just been creatively satisfying, it has also been emotionally satisfying because the project did go through many upheavals in terms of the COVID attack that we were hit by twice over. We had a mammoth set which had to be broken down and rebuilt from scratch twice over. Just not me, but for the entire team, I think it was very rewarding emotionally, and of course, the audience loving it and giving so much of praise and love coming our way. That was like the icing on the cake for us. But yeah, it was a turbulent time. We went through a lot, as did the whole industry, the whole country, and the whole world. But the beauty of it is that everyone came together, and we, we were a very close-knit family of sorts, coming together to create this entire project from scratch, and it was a wonderful time.
Bombay Meri Jaan is a gangster saga written by Hussein S. Jedi, who's also known
Ji,
as the profiler of Mumbai underworld.
right.
Well, the show definitely offered some novelty. What was it that you wanted to say with that series?
I think besides the underworld, saga, which has been seen many times, whether it's been films or series. There have been some iconic movies which have been made on the Bombay underworld. And as you rightly said, Hussein Zaidi is the master of chronicling organized crime in the city of Mumbai. And all his knowledge, all his insights really, really kind of helped us. And for him to come up with the story, for me personally, it was the emotional anchoring, the relationship between the father and son, and the dynamics of the family that really kind of caught my eye. What I was going for was, more in terms of nature versus nurture. Whether we're talking about parenting, we're talking about socioeconomic strata, we're talking about environment, whether it is political, whether it's financial, and how that dictates the lives of these people. So I think that was for me the main crux of the story, and that's the emotional anchoring which really kind of drove me to tell the story.
So then, why Daud has become sort of this template or go-to villain for a lot of filmmakers who each time want to go back in 70s with these stories. I mean, they always have characters inspired by Kareem Lala, Daud Ibrahim. I'm saying, do you think
Right.
today Hindi cinema or storytellers need to find a new villain beyond Daud Ibrahim, Pakistan politicians? Do you think today Hindi cinema don't have the new Amrish Puri or a Prem Chopra or Danny or an Amjad Khan?
Vishal, I do tend to agree with you to a large extent. I think innovation in terms of storytelling, in terms of characters, needs to be dwelled upon, and as filmmakers, we do need to come out with these stories. But having said that, if you look at crime, so to speak, world over as a genre, is something that people keep going back to. I don't know. I think the way I look at it, it is it is about characters who we live vicariously through, because these are things we can have characters say and do, which we in our day-to-day lives we cannot. I mean, we cannot be politically incorrect, we cannot be socially incorrect, we cannot be environmentally incorrect, and there's a certain leverage that these characters do have in terms of exploiting a certain psyche of society. So I think that is the attraction towards crime sagas in totality. I would say whether it is, as you mentioned, whether it's Dawood Ibrahim, Haji Mastan, whether it's Pablo Escobar, whether it's, the Jekyll. There is an offshoot of these characters in lots of crime dramas, whether it's Peaky Blinders, which is such a massive, hit
Yes.
series, which is fantastic again. So I think there is a attraction to the dark side, to the bad boys, so to speak. But yes, I do, of course, agree with you as well. That there needs to be more exploration in terms of narratives, in terms of characters, whether it's Pulp Fiction, bringing back those iconic, so to speak, villains. I mean, in terms of a very stereotypical way. But yeah, I think the lines are so blurred today between even for the actors, they've become more like characters, and people would like to, explore and play. Earlier, we used to just have these set of, people who were, standard villains, and there were standard heroes. But now the lines are so blurred because of the exposure since COVID, the audience, being exposed to OTTs and films all over the world, which are being dubbed in different languages. So there is a massive exposure that the audience is now getting. And yeah, we as filmmakers, I think, have to pull up our socks and provide that kind of entertainment and stories.
Sure, sure. Now, as a producer, also, you have this very discerning quality of picking up good scripts. What was it that you saw in the script of Gulmohar, the Disney Plus Hotstar film, when you decided to produce it? The film, of course, stars Sharmila Tagore and Manoj
Yeah,
Bajpayee.
yeah. First and foremost, I think Rahul Chitila, the director, was a fantastic storyteller, and he come up with a beautiful script. I think what really personally attracts me to scripts is the emotional anchoring of, the dysfunctionality of relationships. Whether it was Bombay Meri Jaan, whether it was a fractured relationship between a father and son, whether it was, Gulmohar, or even for that matter, Jadugar as well, we produced, which was with Jitu, and Samir directed that. The emotional anchoring needs to be really kind of, strong when we look at subjects and when we look at, films. In the recent times, if you have seen 12th Fail, it's a brilliant film. I think probably the best film of last year. It's just so strong in terms of its ethos, in terms of its value and its moral system, and in terms of the framework of the emotion and the dynamics between people. And it's not about just everyone being good. I mean, it's just so real and relatable. I think those are the kind of stories that really need to come out, and we are just trying to do our best with picking such stories that we as an audience would like to watch, most importantly, firstly, and then of course the logistical and the business aspect of it.
The other film which you directed is a film called The Underbug, which is a haunting and also a very immersive psychological thriller starring Ali Fazal and writer and actor Hussein Dalal.
Right.
The film has communal violence. It talks about these two leading men are playing writers, and it touches upon issues of religious identity, about human behavior, and about the society. What was it that you wanted to highlight with Underworld?
So Underbug was made actually during very troubled times. I mean, right at the peak of COVID. If you remember, in August sometime we were allowed to move about with passes. We had to take passes and move out, and it had been about 3-4 months that everyone was holed up in their houses, and there was like frustration building up. Of course, no one knew what is happening. And just prior to that, of course, I was shooting Bombay Meri Jaan, and we were 20 days into shoot, and we had to face the lockdown. That was the first time we had to shut shop at that moment in time. Uh, and the world was at a tricky place, as it is right now, presently, in terms of what is happening world over, and we are looking at what is happening with Palestine and with Israel, and all these things. Uh, it just felt momentarily for that period in time that we were faced with an unknown enemy which was larger and stronger than us, and everyone came together, right, to fight coronavirus. And everyone was helping each other, and everyone was being careful, and there was so much of humanity which was pouring out, and that kind of got me triggered into is something this drastic is what it takes for us to actually start coming together and um, just getting rid of our differences. But having said that, the moot point I wanted to make with the underbug is that hate is not going to get us anywhere. It is only going to be counterproductive to society and to individuals. And weaponizing hate is again something which is not in the best benefits of a country, of a city, of a human being, or of a society, of a civil society. That's why I just wanted to pitch these two characters, and we don't even know their religion throughout the film. Because it wasn't about religion. It was about people trying to find their space, because identity is something that we always strive and to look out for, because that becomes our existence, so to speak. And just in a very simplified way, just being human sometimes is not even good enough for us, right? We have to kind of start breaking ourselves down and breaking society into boxes and into castes and religion. At the end of the day, it is all just futile. I mean, nange aaye the aur nange jayenge. So there is nothing that we're going to be taking with us, and what we're going to leave behind are deeds. So I just wanted to kind of play on that with the horror element. Of course, the horror element for me denoted COVID and coronavirus, because these two writers who are at each other's throats then become best friends, to battle this unseen enemy in the house. So I wanted to kind of layer it in terms of a nuanced take in that sense of it. But yeah, the moot point being that hate is not going to get us anywhere.
Let's talk about your ad film. Plus, I really like your quirky sense of humor, which is actually visible even in your Instagram post. I really like this post of yours where you have said that if we tell people the brain is an app, they will start using it.
I mean, that's where we've come down to right now, right, Vishal? I mean, everything has become so so short term in terms of social media now. It's dictating our lives, and everyone is just connected and glued to their phones. Of course, we've grown up during a time where there were no phones and no video games, and we were fortunate in that sense. I feel there is a certain miss out that is happening with the generation today. Of course, I mean, there are pros and cons to everything. I just feel that like my assistants who are 24 and 25 are so much more sharper, so much more intelligent, so much more aware than I was at their age. But I think, I'm a fun guy. I like fun stuff. I think we need to start taking ourselves less seriously. I think that is where we have, I think, kind of somewhere, straight people have started taking themselves way too seriously. I think we need to just chill out, laugh a bit, laugh at ourselves, and take a joke and take it on the chin and, move on, because that is what is going to keep us going. There's nothing better than a hearty laugh. So, yeah, I mean, I did a campaign recently for Acco Insurance as well with Saif and Sarah, which was again a father-daughter quirky kind of campaign, and it was fun. Working Saif is extremely funny. Sarah is very talented, and we had a great time. Yes, I like to bring out the fun out of it. Even in the Underbug, there are some scenes which I thought were pretty funny and endearing in that sense, and there's a lot of humor even in Bombay, Meri, Jaan in that in the typical sense of it. Yeah, I think I personally feel we need to just chill. We really need to chill.
So then, talking about Bombay Meri Jaan, you have made so many ad films. Bombay Meri Jaan is of course set in the 70s of Mumbai.
Right.
If I can request you to tell our viewers how to create Bombay of the 70s, which are the locations that should feature in it, which cars, fashion, props will make that perfect retro frame.
Ballard Pier, that's a go-to place to shoot period in Mumbai. You know, Honeyman Circle, Ballard Pier.
They freeze in
Get
time,
a
like they're like, are they like, they
Yeah,
work?
it is. I mean, you will find the lanes still quaint, and there is. I mean, you still maintained some of the heritage structures there. And yeah, get a Lambretta and I think bell bottoms and a funky retro color jacket. And if you can sit on it, that would make like for a beautiful 70s kind of frame. And today's phones have all the filters. I mean, you don't even need to get professional cameras. People are shooting, films on phones, which is also fantastic. And yeah, there you go. There's your recipe for the 70s Bombay. In fact, those days, I mean, you had many more vehicles. You had Triumphs, which is back now and again in India, but you know, you could find Triumphs. Motorcycles, and I think Muqaddar Ka Sikandar, Woli Sefi is Amitabh Bachchan is riding, and he's riding a Triumph Scrambler. So yeah, I think yeah, that was a lot of our referencing a lot of Mr. Bachchan's films in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, Shujat, you of course, you're a creative mind. If I can ask you, you of course have championed the long and short storytelling format. What role
Right.
does music play in your stories?
Jordan Peele made a lovely statement about music. He said the difference between a comedy and a horror is music. Uh, I think it's extremely
Oh,
essential, of course.
very
You
correct.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
You change the
I think
music. You change the music of a scene, and it'll become. You put a funny music, and it'll become.
yeah, I mean, the tonality of it completely changes. You know, it's music combined with sound design and what kind of ambience and environment you want to create. And essentially, you know, Indians are very clued in to music. All our films are musicals. You know, we have songs and we have dances and we have this full flair, and it's our culture and it's our tradition. And it is also what is very novel in terms of cinema. I mean, if you go to Iranian cinema, if you watch European cinema, American cinema, they have a different category of called musicals. Right? Every film is a musical. Right? Hero breaks into singing songs. Yes. Besides that, I think what is really critical is what is the emotion that you want to convey in a particular scene. And I think music, or even sometimes the lack of it, kind of really help and accentuate a scene.
You, of course, are a frequent collaborator with the Dalal brothers, both Hussein and Abbas Dalal,
Right.
who are credited for writing some of your very quirky and emotional dialogues.
Right.
Which are some of the memorable dialogues that you think you have written with them for your projects?
I okay. I mean, yeah, there are, I think, quite a few in Bombay Meri Jaan. Actually, from the Underbug, my personal favorite is the dinner table scene between Ali and Hussein. I would particularly say Habiba's character had some really great lines, in the series, especially in the bus, where she says, "Chua mere ko, अगली बार किसी को छुआ ना हाथ तोड़ दूंगी ना धो पाएगा ना खा पाएगा." So yeah, I mean, uh, I think they nailed those characters and the kind of language that they speak. Also, because Hussein and Abbas come from that area, central, in Bombay, in Nagpara, and they've grown up and they know the subtleties of where there's a slight Hyderabadi twang with which these people talk. They don't say "aa rahi hu" or "ja rahi hu," "jayenga" and "ayenga," and that's how they speak. So I think the overall flavor really kind of was enhanced by them. But
And finally, what is the next big goal that you have set for yourself, and how and when you try to achieve that?
Uh, so yeah, setting goals has really not been something which has been part of my plan. I was really tired and exhausted personally after this whole Mammoth series. I like advertising. I think advertising is fun for me, and I enjoy it. It comes pretty naturally to me. So for now, for a bit, yeah, I'm just delving, back into ads. In fact, just shot a Vivo commercial recent, just released with Farhan. For now, there are a few ideas and thoughts, very nascent stage that we are kind of working on. I mean, it's just still marinating in my mind. I am a Goan, so I'm very laid back and chill. So yeah, there's no hurry, but I think the moment I have a story to tell, and I feel the story needs to go out, is when I think I will realize that the time has come.
We'll be looking forward to many more funny, entertaining stories by you. Thank you so much for your time and best of luck, Shujaat.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you so much. Pleasure talking to you.
Same here. Thank you.